Hello, everybody. My name is Caitlin Vang, an occupational therapy student at the University of the Pacific, and today I'll be presenting Styled for Success, Injury Prevention in the Salon. After today's presentation, participants will be able to identify potential risk in a salon environment, identify simple solutions to prevent work-related musculoskeletal injuries in cosmetologists, describe simple upper and lower body stretches to implement in between work tasks to improve workplace wellness and longevity. What are work hazards? They are sources of potential harm or adverse health effects on salon workers, clients, or visitors. They stem from physical, chemical, ergonomic, or psychosocial factors. These can play a role in developing work related musculoskeletal disorders. Physical hazards are environmental factors causing harm without direct contact, such as slippery floors due to spills, hair products and clippings, poor lighting, which can cause clients or salonists to trip, hot tools such as curling irons and dryers, which may cause burns, and prolonged noise exposure, affecting hearing over time. Chemical hazards are exposure to chemicals in the salon, such as hair dyes, perms, and relaxers, which may contain irritants and fumes, which can lead to respiratory issues, and improper ventilation can increase this chemical exposure. Ergonomic hazards are related to posture and repetitive tasks, repetitive hand movements such as braiding and cutting for long hours, standing for long hours, poor workstation setups such as the chair or mirror height, and awkward positioning during these services. Psychosocial hazards are things that affect one's mental health and emotional well being. So, high client demand or time pressures, long or irregular hours, workplace bullying or harassment, or emotional strain from customer services role. These all play a role in workplace hazards. Work related musculoskeletal injuries are injuries of the muscle, nerves, tendons, joints, cartilage, or spinal disc that are caused or made worse by work activities. Some causes may be repeating the same movements like cutting or braiding hair, standing all day without taking breaks, using tools that don't fit your hands well, and reaching too far or bending in awkward ways. Did you know that over 90% of beauty professionals work with their neck and back in awkward positions? About 65% use their wrist in uncomfortable or strained positions while working. These body positions can lead to long-term pain or injury if not addressed. And according to the National Carpal Tunnel Association, hairdressers fall into the top 10 at-risk jobs for developing carpal tunnel syndrome. According to studies, the most common area for WRMSD-related pain in cosmetologists include back at 76%, shoulders at 60%, neck 58%, wrist and hands at 53%. These areas are often used during tasks at or above shoulder level, such as cutting, braiding, or blow drying hair. The two most common work-related musculoskeletal disorders in the salon include trapezius overuse, which involves your neck and shoulder, the trapezius muscle, which supports posture and head and shoulder movement, is often overused. In a study of 165 beauticians, 96% had reported neck issues linked to repetitive motion and poor posture. Pain and spasms can limit movement and job performance. Carpal tunnel risk involves your hand and wrist due to repetitive gripping, twisting, and pinching, which puts stress on the wrist and thumb. Common tools that exacerbate this are scissors, tweezers, bottles, and threads. Movement like wrist flexion and wrist extension and grip force contribute to carpal tunnel syndrome. So, what does it feel like? You may experience pain or discomfort, especially in your wrist, hands, shoulder, neck, or back. You may experience numbness or tingling in the affected area, as well as swelling or inflammation, stiffness or weakness when holding objects or items. So, how does ergonomic play into this setting? Well, ergonomics looks at how well a person fits with their tools, task, and workspace to help them work safely and comfortably. It focuses on body posture, movement, and positioning. We know that poor ergonomics can cause muscle strain, pain, and injuries from overuse. Some poor ergonomics examples in the salon include leaning over the clients for long periods, awkward arm and wrist angles during styling, and prolonged standing in the same position. It's time for our first ergonomic stretch break. 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 It's time for our first ergonomic stretch break.
You're going to place
It's time for our
your hands
first
on your
ergonomic
hips,
stretch break.
and we'll slowly bend at the hips.
It's time for our
backwards,
first
slowly
ergonomic
stretch,
stretch
and hold on
break.
for 10 to 15 seconds.
It's time for
While
our
looking
first
up towards the
ergonomic
ceiling.
stretch break. It's time for our first ergonomic stretch break.
And then we'll repeat.
It's time for our
2 to
first
3 seconds.
ergonomic stretch break.
And that is our back stretch.
It's time for our first ergonomic stretch break. In a study conducted by Malapang et al. 2021, forms at 60 degrees and risk at 40 degrees puts an individual at high risk of developing musculoskeletal disorders. A neck at 30 degrees, arms at 100 degrees, and wrists at 15 degrees puts an individual at moderate risk for developing WRMSDs. In a study conducted by Calkit, they used the REBA, Rapid Entire Body Assessment, to measure ergonomic risk. The Rapid Entire Body Assessment uses a scoring system to evaluate the risk of musculoskeletal disorders associated with various job tasks. It involves observing a worker's posture and scores different body segments and calculates the final REBA score, which indicates the level of musculoskeletal disorder risk. The higher the score indicates the greater the injury. With hair coloring, it scored a REBA score of 6.8. Hair cutting scored 7.4, which equates to both tasks being medium risk for salonist. So, what is the role of an occupational therapist in this sort of setting? Well, an occupational therapist is a healthcare professional who helps people perform their activities they need and want to do in their daily life, at home, school, or work, even if they have pain, injuries, or disabilities. This is done by looking at a balance of the person, the environment, and the occupation. In the salon setting, this means helping beauty professionals protect their health while doing their job. We're looking at the person, the environment, and the occupation to see if they are a good fit for one another and to make adjustments so that way they can be a good fit. So, how do OT support cosmetologists? Through ergonomic practices to prevent work related musculoskeletal disorders. Well, as stated before, we combine the person, environment, and occupation. We are talking about the person. We want to question, how are you sitting or standing? That is our posture. Where are your arms and hands? So your upper body position. Are you feeling tense or tight? Do you have any stress? Are your eyes tired or strained, such as visual fatigue? When we're talking about the environment, we are looking at the chair and stool setup. Is your chair at the right height? Are you supported while working? Your work and tool surfaces? Are your scissors, dryers, and other tools within easy reach? Is the counter at a comfortable height for you? Noise and distractions. Are loud dryers, music, or conversations making it hard to focus or increasing your stress levels? We're looking at the occupation now. Do you have a busy work schedule? So, high job demand. Are you getting enough sleep or are you not getting enough sleep? Do you have unhealthy eating habits? Are you juggling too many responsibilities, such as your work, home, and family? These are questions that an occupational therapist may ask in order to help support a cosmetologist. Let's go ahead and look at some things to consider when working in the salon to prevent work related musculoskeletal disorders. The first one is forces. Forces refers to the amount of effort or strength a cosmetologist uses to perform tasks while using their hands, arms, or body. Examples of forces in the salon are gripping scissors tightly for long periods, pulling hair during braiding, straightening, or blow drying hair, twisting caps or bottles that are hard to open, and lifting heavy equipment like shampoo bowls or supply boxes. Next, we'll look at contact stress. Contact stress happens when a part of your body presses against a hard surface or object over and over for a long period of time. Some examples of this in the salon include scissors or comb pressing into your fingers, leaning your wrist on hard edges of counters while styling, kneeling or leaning against shampoo bowls or chairs, wearing tight tools like wristbands and gloves that dig into your skin. Repeated contact stress can cause pain, numbness, or tingling and may lead to long term injuries if not addressed early. So, some awkward postures that we want to keep in mind are leaning forward. So, that is bending over a client during cutting, braiding, or washing hair for long periods of time. Raised shoulders, so holding your arms up above your shoulder for long periods while styling or blow drying. Wrist bending, so twisting or bending the wrist while using scissors, tweezers, or brushes. So that repetitive motion. And looking down or looking to the side. So that's tilting your head for better visibility, which may lead to neck pain over time. So these are just some things to keep in mind. It's now time for our second ergonomic stretch break. It's now time for our second ergonomic stretch break. It's now time for our second ergonomic stretch break. It's now time for our second ergonomic stretch break. It's now time for our second ergonomic stretch break. It's now time for our second ergonomic
This is our
stretch break.
wrist and finger stretch.
It's
We're
now
gonna
time
place
for our
palm
second
facing
ergonomic
towards the
stretch
ceiling.
break.
With our elbows straight, we're gonna
It's now
point
time for
towards
our
the floor
second
with our fingers.
ergonomic stretch
With our
break.
supporting hand, we'll pull your fingers
It's now
back
time
towards
for
your
our
body,
second ergonomic
keeping that
stretch
elbow
break.
straight until you feel a slight stretch.
It's
But there
now
should be
time
no
for our
discomfort.
second ergonomic
We'll hold
stretch
that for
break.
10 to 15 seconds.
It's now time for our second ergonomic stretch break.
Release. Take it out.
It's
and then
now
repeat
time
for
for
another
our
2 to 3
second
seconds.
ergonomic stretch break. It's now time for our second So what is neutral? We want to keep our head straight and not tilted forward or back. We want to make sure that our shoulders are relaxed and not raised. Our arms are close to our sides with elbows bent about 90 degrees. Wrists are straight and not bent up or down. And we want to keep our feet flat on the floor with even weight distribution. So, to reduce work related musculoskeletal disorders in the salon, we want to keep in mind work zones. So, horizontal reaching, we want to stay within 15.7 inches from our body. And here's why. It's the primary reach range, which minimizes body movements. So, items within this zone can be reached with minimal effort, often using only forearm movements, reducing the need for stretching or bending. While working within the neutral reach zone, it helps maintain proper alignment of your spine, head, shoulder, and reduces the risk of these work-related musculoskeletal disorders. It improves comfort and efficiency, so maintaining that comfortable position with frequently used items within easy reach can enhance your comfort and reduce your fatigue, which allows you to work more efficiently over time. Anything above your shoulder at 90 degrees puts you at a higher risk of developing work-related musculoskeletal disorders, and anything below your knees puts you at a higher risk of developing those disorders. So here are some ergonomic workspace suggestions to reduce WRMSDs. So for a chair, it should be adjusted so that both the cosmetologist and client are at a comfortable working level. It allows for a neutral posture and reduces bending or reaching. The tools that we use should be lightweight, easy to grip tools to reduce force and contact stress. Scissors, dryers, and combs should fit the hand and allow for a neutral wrist position. At our stations, tools should be within easy reach to prevent overreaching or twisting. Countertops and shelves should be at a proper height to reduce shoulder strain. Soft, supportive mats can also reduce foot, leg, and back pain from prolonged standing. So these are just some suggestions that may reduce WRMSDs. So when we're setting up our workstation in the salon, we want to keep in mind our ergonomic work zones. So these are spatial areas within the workspace that are designed to minimize strain and promote neutral posture by strategically placing frequently used items in certain areas. In our primary zone, which is our high frequently used items, the distance should be within easy reach. So your elbow should be bent at 90 degrees. And the purpose is so that tools that are constantly used are within easy access and easy reach. So what we want to place here are our scissors, our combs and brushes, clips, blow dryers, spray bottles, and common styling products. In the secondary zone, which is our moderately and frequently used items, the distance can require a slight reach. So the purpose is that tools are used occasionally during this session. So what we want to place here are our flat irons, our curling wands, our color bowls and brushes, towels, hair ties, or selecting tools or sectioning tools, and additional products. In our tertiary zone, which is our low frequently used items, the distance is going to require you to reach outside of neutral. It may include bending or moving, and these tools are rarely used between clients. So we want to place here our backup tools and supplies, our cleaning products, extra caps, gloves or foils, and bulk storages such as extra shampoo and extra dyes and etc. So these are our ergonomic work zones to keep in mind when we're setting up our workstation. So here's an example of a workstation with our ergonomic work zones in practice. So we have our zone 1 nearest to us, zone 2 with a little bit of a reach, and zone 3 requiring you to move a little bit more around your workstation to access items. So why does this all matter? As future professional, students must learn how to use proper posture, choose ergonomic tools, and take micro breaks while listening to early signs of pain. This is all to protect your body now in order to build a longer and healthier career in the beauty industry. Let's go ahead and take our last ergonomic stretch break. Let's go ahead and take our last ergonomic stretch break. Let's go ahead and take our last ergonomic stretch break. Let's go ahead and take our last ergonomic stretch break. Let's go ahead and take our last ergonomic stretch break.
So our
Let's
next
go ahead
stretch
and take
is
our last
neck and shoulder stretch.
ergonomic
We're
stretch
first
break.
Start out with our palms
Let's go
facing
ahead
up
and take our
and place
last
them on your forehead. We're going
ergonomic
to take a
stretch
deep
break.
breath in And
Let's
as we
go ahead
exhale,
and
we're
take
going to
our
rotate
last
our shoulder blades
ergonomic stretch
back
break.
and our hands out.
Let's
Come
go
down.
ahead and take our last
We're going to
ergonomic stretch
squeeze
break.
and hold for 10 to 15 seconds.
Let's go ahead and take our last ergonomic stretch
Once that's
break.
complete, we'll go ahead and do it again.
Let's
for
go
another
ahead
2 to
and
3
take
sets.
our
So we'll
last
start up top,
ergonomic stretch break.
come down, squeeze those shoulder
Let's
blades.
go ahead and take our last
Hold for 10 to
ergonomic
15.
stretch break. Let's go ahead and
That is
take
our
our
neck
last
and shoulder stretch.
ergonomic stretch break. Let's go ahead and take our last. I hope you enjoyed this in-service presentation, and thank you so much for your time.